Most aquarium videos tell you which fish are aggressive, but almost none of them explain why peaceful fish suddenly snap. We've built tanks, we've broken tanks, we've fixed tanks that look beyond saving. And here's the pattern nobody warns beginners about. Aquariums don't fail because people are careless. They fail because living systems react with delay. Today, we're breaking down 9 peaceful fish that turn aggressive, what triggers that switch, and how beginners accidentally flip it themselves. Stay to the end, because after the list, we're breaking down the myths that keep this cycle alive and the 3 truths every stable aquarium eventually follows. And hey, if you enjoy learning the why, not just the what, hit subscribe and join our corner of the aquarium world. You'll feel right at home here. Let's start. Number 9, Angelfish, the silent divider. Angelfish look calm at first glance. Elegant fins, slow movements, almost polite behavior. That's exactly why beginners trust them. What most people don't realize is that angelfish aren't peaceful fish. They're territorial planners. When they're young, they tolerate each other, but as they mature, their instincts shift from coexistence to space management. They don't chase randomly, they don't explode with aggression. Instead, they divide the tank into invisible zones. Tall plants, vertical driftwood, even filter pipes become borders. And once those borders exist, any fish crossing them gets pressured. This is why aggression seems to come out of nowhere. Do this instead. Break sight lines. Cluster plants instead of spacing them evenly. And never give one angelfish a perfect, uninterrupted vertical territory. Because once an angelfish gets a throne, it starts acting like royalty. And the next fish looks calm until it controls the surface. Number 8, Gourami, the floating landlord. Gouramis are almost always sold as peaceful community fish. And technically, that's not wrong. But here's what most tutorials completely skip. Gouramis are labyrinth fish. They breathe air. That single trait changes everything, because breathing air gives them surface authority. As they mature, the top layer of the tank stops being shared space. It becomes property. Any fish that swims upward, feeds near the surface, or lingers too long gets challenged. Not because the Gourami is aggressive, but because it's enforcing ownership. Beginners misjudge this because juvenile Gouramis don't show it yet. The behavior activates with maturity. Do this instead. Use floating plants to break the surface line. Avoid single dominant males, and don't mix Gouramis with other surface-oriented species. Otherwise, the landlord starts evicting tenants, and the next fish turns stress into a group activity. Number 7, Tiger Barb, the nervous mob leader. Tiger barbs get blamed for being bullies. But most of the time, they're not aggressive, they're anxious. In small groups, tiger barbs don't feel safe, and unsafe fish don't stay calm. That stress has to go somewhere. So it turns into fin nipping, chasing, constant movement that never settles. This isn't dominance, it's redirected fear. That's why one tiger barb is a nightmare. 3 are worse, but 8 suddenly calm down. Do this instead. Increase group size significantly. Give them space to move together. Or don't keep them at all. Because the next fish nips not out of fear, but out of confidence. Number 6, Serpae Tetra, the red menace. Serpae tetras are small, bright, and deceptively peaceful looking. That's the mistake. Serpaes are constant boundary testers. They poke, they chase, they nip, not to hurt, but to measure reactions. If no one pushes back, the behavior escalates. Fin nipping becomes routine. Routine becomes dominance. This is why slow fish and long fins suffer the most. They don't respond fast enough. Do this instead. Pair them with fast-moving tank mates. Use dense planting to break pursuit lines, and avoid anything with flowing fins. Because once a Serpae learns it can dominate, it doesn't forget. And the next fish flips the switch when breeding starts. Number 5. Betta, the coin flip warrior. Bettas are the definition of unpredictable. Some thrive in community tanks for years. Others declare war within weeks. Same species, same setup, completely different outcome. The hidden cause is individual temperament combined with territory compression. Bettas don't just react to fish, they react to reflections, tight spaces, and visual pressure. That's why a tank that works today can fail months later. Do this instead. Use heavy planting, break reflections. Never assume early success means long-term peace. Because with bettas, peace is always conditional, and the next fish stays calm until kids enter the picture. Number 4. Convict Cichlid, the calm until kids. Convict cichlids have destroyed countless community tanks with one life event: breeding. Before that, they seem manageable, even calm. But once eggs appear, the tank transforms into a defense zone. Parental aggression overrides everything. Tank mates aren't neighbors anymore. They're threats. Do this instead. Plan for breeding behavior from day one. Or don't keep them in community tanks at all. Because once parental mode activates, there's no negotiation. And the next fish doesn't even need breeding to cause chaos. Number 3. Danio, the hyperactive instigator. Danios look harmless, fast, playful, always moving. That movement is the problem. In short, tanks, speed turns into pressure. Pressure turns into harassment. Other fish never get a moment of calm. This isn't aggression in the classic sense. It's relentless stimulation. Do this instead. Use long tanks, create open swim lanes, or choose calmer species. Because constant motion is still stress. And the next fish enforces hierarchy with color and flash. Number 2. Rainbowfish, the flashy enforcer. Rainbowfish look joyful, bright colors, smooth movement. But dominant males establish hierarchy quickly. If sex ratios are off, that hierarchy turns into constant enforcement, chasing, posturing, subtle pressure that never stops. Do this instead. Balance male to female ratios. Add visual breaks. Avoid overcrowding dominant males. Because beauty doesn't cancel dominance. And now, the fish that breaks the peaceful label hardest. Number 1. Oscar, the emotional bulldozer. Oscars aren't aggressive by instinct, they're emotional. They recognize tank mates, they remember conflict, they react based on past experiences. That's why an Oscar can be calm for months and then suddenly flip. This isn't predator behavior, it's emotional response. Do this instead. Keep them in single species setups or with tank mates that can hold their ground. Because once an Oscar decides it doesn't like something, it doesn't forget. Myth bust, the ideas that turn peaceful fish aggressive. Before we finish, we need to clear out a few beliefs that quietly sabotage beginner tanks. They don't sound wrong, that's why they spread. Myth number 1, if a fish is peaceful now, it will stay peaceful. This traps most beginners. Fish don't show their full behavior immediately, they grow into it. Territory, hierarchy, and pressure build over time. That's why people say, it was fine until it wasn't. Myth number 2, Aggression means the fish is bad for community tanks. Most aggression isn't about the species, it's about conditions. Crowding, layout, group size. Put enough pressure on almost any fish and it will defend space. Myth number 3. More decor automatically fixes aggression. Decor only helps if it breaks sight lines. If one fish controls entrances, you didn't reduce aggression. You organized it. The 3 truths that actually matter. Truth number 1. Aggression is feedback. Most fish aren't aggressive by default. They react to pressure. Aggression is the tank telling you something changed. Truth number 2. Time exposes problems. Most tanks don't fail fast. They fail quietly. Everything looks fine until growth and behavior catch up. Truth number 3. Behavior warns first. Test kits show the past. Fish behavior shows the future. If you watch fish, you see problems early. Once you see tanks this way, you realize most problems aren't random. They're patterns. That's why we built the Stop Doing series. Fix one habit and the next mistake reveals itself. Click one of the videos on screen and keep going. And if this helped you see your tank differently, hit subscribe. Until next time, keep your tanks balanced, your glass spotless, and your curiosity flowing.